Hey everybody, what's up? How's it going? Robin here once again, doing another video on the channel. And in today's video, I did a poll a couple days ago asking you guys what type of content you would like to see on the channel. And you guys pretty much all voted for a Manulife stock review. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Manulife, and I'll give you guys an update on how Manulife is doing inside my portfolio, and I'll talk about what I think of the stock. So the format of the video will be pretty simple. We'll do a quick little introductory to Manulife. I'll talk about the company, what I think about the company. We'll review the company's earnings, their growth, how they've done in the past, and I'll give you guys an update on how Manulife is doing inside my portfolio, and we'll probably end the video with me actually buying some shares of Manulife on Wealthsimple Trade. So before we talk about Manulife, I want to give you guys a quick little update on my living off my dividends experiment, where I'm basically taking all my dividend income from inside my portfolio and we're using it to buy stuff, and eventually the goal is to live off my dividends. So if we go over to my spreadsheet, you guys can see here that last month I made around $50 in dividends, and one thing I wanted to start doing was adding 20% of my monthly dividends into my grocery bill so I could start getting some groceries on a regular basis from my dividends. So I went shopping the other day and I spent about $10 on groceries. I grabbed some nice stuff here, and obviously, you know, I said I'm trying to eat better going into the new year, so I got some nice fresh fruits and vegetables here with $10 worth. Didn't get that much this time because things seem to be kind of high priced because it's the end of the new year, beginning of January, but we used $10 to get some groceries, so it was a nice little bit to add more to the portfolio. And of course, as time goes on, we'll be able to buy more groceries and buy more stuff with our dividends. So if you guys want to follow alongside with me as I build out this portfolio and we add more things into our life and we buy more stuff with our dividends, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's get into the video and let's talk all about Manulife stock. So for anybody who's brand new to Manulife, Manulife is basically a Canadian-based insurance company. Manulife Financial Corporation is a Canadian multinational insurance company and financial services provider headquartered out of Toronto, Ontario. The company operates primarily in Canada and has been expanding into Asia as well as the United States. At the time of recording this video, Manulife Financial Corporation currently trades at $23.64 on the TSX under the ticker MFC, and currently has a dividend yield sitting around 4.74%. So for starters, Manulife is probably one of the best Canadian stocks to buy right now, and it's trading at a pretty good discount considering the current price over the past year. And I honestly think it's actually one of the best Canadian-based finance stocks to buy going into 2021. If you're a type of investor that is looking to add more passive income inside your portfolio, then Manulife is a really solid growth-based dividend stock to add inside your portfolio. So the very first thing I want to point out in regards to this is the fact that Manulife has an amazing dividend yield right now. Manulife currently has a dividend yield of around 5%, which is very high. And this is mostly because, as you guys can see here, over the past year, the stock is actually down 11% from 2020 when the market crashed. We've seen a little bit of recovery throughout 2020, but I think going into 21, we should see some good recovery. And even over the past week or so, Manulife is up 4.64%. So I think going into 2021, this stock will keep climbing up, and it is kind of undervalued, I would say, at the current moment. So one really attractive benefit of investing to Manulife right now is if you buy the stock, you can get that nice juicy dividend yield. You can lock it in, and the other great thing about Manulife is they also have a very conservative payout ratio, so we don't have to worry about things like their dividends being cut or anything like that, and we can guarantee that going into the future, those dividends are going to keep on growing. So a quick little trip over to MarketBeat will tell us that Manulife's annual dividend is sitting about $1.09 Canadian. The current yield is sitting around that 5% range, like I mentioned earlier, and the current PE ratio is hovering between 35 to 40%, kind of more closer to 40%. And this is really cool because it just shows us that, you know, Manulife has 60% of its earnings going back into the company. Having a 40% payout ratio is relatively low, allows them to have lots of room for dividend increases going into the future. And we can see that their most recent increase was 3 cents increase in 2020. So we might see an increase in 2021, and going over the next couple of years, we should see that dividend continue to grow with such a low payout ratio. So with a nice dividend yield, a good solid payout ratio, and free cash flows of going into $20 billion per year, Manulife stock is looking pretty nice right now. Manulife also has a fairly large market cap, currently sitting around $46 billion, as we can see on Yahoo Finance, and is one of the biggest finance-based stocks on the TSX. I think this stock also has a lot of room to grow in stock appreciation in the future as well. One other thing I really like about Manulife is the company's ability to adjust and grow and switch their products to be, you know, a little bit more attractive to modern day investors and modern day insurance people looking for insurance solutions. This really, at the end of the day, has allowed Manulife to keep growing and keep attracting more customers to keep using their products and services. And because Manulife keeps on adapting and growing as a company and attracting new customers into their customer base, while a lot of companies suffered in 2020 and didn't do very well in regards to earnings, Manulife actually had a very good year, and their earnings actually went up quite a bit in 2020. And once again, if we head on over to Yahoo Finance, we can do a quick little review of Manulife earnings really quickly with this nice little graph here. We can see in 2016 to 2017, the company got a little bit of growth in revenue, but not so much in earnings. 2018 was a lower year in revenue, but an increase in earnings. And in 2019 was a huge jump to earnings and revenue across the board. And if we go to quarterly for 2020, we can see here that the company did pretty good across the board. The first quarter in 2020 was decent, with the company making 20 billion and 1.15 billion in revenue. Quarter two is absolutely phenomenal, with the company making $27 billion in revenue. And then going into quarter three, we can see here that the company is still doing quite well. Obviously not as good as quarter two, but pretty steady across the board, and like no major drops from the company in earnings and revenue like we've seen from so many other companies in 2020. And when it comes to Canadian companies growing over time, a big part of that comes to expanding into different countries and different places of the world and expanding that reach. So Manulife has actually recently done a lot of work expanding into the Asian markets, expanding to the United States, and growing all across the world. So this is one thing I really like to see. If you look at a lot of other good companies like TD and whatnot, one thing they're doing really well to keep expanding their earnings is expanding into other markets like the United States and different parts of the world. So since Manulife is doing this, it looks really nice, and over time we should see that those earnings kind of expand past Canada, and they should grow in Canada as well, because Canada is a very fastly growing country right now. And going into the future, if the economy continues to grow, and once the economy kind of opens up and things get back to normal, we should see Manulife grow. We should see their stock go up in price. And currently, even in the kind of pandemic that we are right now, with everything being locked down, Manulife is doing pretty well right now. So I think going into the future, they're going to be a really good company to invest into. And I think this is just a great opportunity to buy a really solid Canadian finance-based stock. And before we go any further, I think it's important to talk about dividend yields and dividend growth, because as a dividend-based investor such as myself, we always want to look at the dividend growth of the company. We want to see how, we've kind of already talked about the payout ratio and how conservative it is, but let's kind of take a peek at the previous years and how Manulife has grown their dividend yield over time, and how this can how we can predict it going into the future if Manulife is going to keep growing those dividends. And I managed to pull up some cool information about the dividend growth rate of Manulife here. So we can see over the past year, Manulife's dividend growth went up 11.25%, which is a lot in the past year. Their 3-year dividend growth rate is 10%, which is absolutely phenomenal. Their 5-year dividend growth rate, once again, is around that 10%, and 10-year dividend growth rate is 5.2%, which is pretty good. But like, if we really pay attention to the 5-year dividend growth rate, we can see it sitting around that 10%. So lots of growth coming in the past couple of years, which is good. And once again, I have this nice little graph here that we can see the dividend growth rate in action. So from 2010 to basically 2020, we've seen a nice, pretty solid dividend growth rate, with most of it coming in the past couple of years, as the company has really grown over the past 5 years or so. And lastly, before we end this video, I want to give you guys a quick little update of Manulife inside my portfolio. So we're going to jump over to my Wealth Trade account. What we're going to do is I'll give you guys an update how Manulife has been doing inside my portfolio, and I'm going to be buying a couple shares of Manulife as well. So let's jump over to Wealth Trade. Let's take a peek at my portfolio really quick, and let's see how Manulife is doing. Alright guys, like I said, I'll give you guys a quick little update on the portfolio and how Manulife is doing inside my TFSA. So we'll scroll down here to the bottom, and we have Manulife Corp sitting in here. Over the past day, Manulife is up about 4%, so it actually done quite well. Actually, the market overall the past day is up quite a bit. Over the past week, Manulife is up 5%, and over the past month, it's actually up 3%. So we've seen nice little growth over the past month. Over the past 3 months, it's also up about 22.5%. So we've seen that growth as the economy kind of has recovered, as the stock has recovered going in towards the end of 2020 and going into 2021. I think the stock is going to do well once again. So we see here I have 34 shares. We have $807 Canadian. I'm currently up about 14.10% inside my portfolio, which is about $100. I currently own this represents about 5% of the portfolio, and my average buy was about $20 Canadian and 81 cents. So I'm definitely going to be buying some more of the stock over time, and today I'm actually going to be adding about $100 worth of Manulife inside my portfolio. So I'm going to go make this trade here with Wealth Trade. And if you guys want to sign up for Wealth Trade, I'll put my affiliate link in the description of this video. You guys can buy and sell stocks with no commissions or no fees with Wealth Trade. So if you're buying Canadian stocks, definitely a good thing to use is Wealth Trade. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little update on Manulife and how it's been growing inside my portfolio, or since I started investing back in January 2020. Alright guys, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know what you guys think of it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys want to join me on this investing journey, and if you guys want more Canadian-based investing content. I'll link to a playlist of some of the other videos I did on this channel, Canadian-based stocks, so check those out. I'll put up some end screens as well if you guys want to watch more videos from my channel. But other than that guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.